Previously on the Blood-Soaked Rose.
Oh my goodness, my good friend! You're alive!
Merchant, you survived the night. This feels fucking odd.
He's a werewolf. I want him on side. He was a mage before, and he scared me. He's now a werewolf who can also cast magic.
Now that the cat's out of the bag, I gave Bryok such a hard time about keeping secrets. And now I've done that. He's clearly going to be playing a different angle now, because I've technically betrayed him. I feel it best that some things are made clear.
A monster hunter's gone, and we also slew a monster.
Yes, but you're now in the presence of one yourself.
People call us monsters all the time.
And how do you generally feel about that?
If I am indeed a monster, then you are too, and perhaps we've joined together. The minute the first lie gets through, a few more just get added.
He pulls out the bloodied red bands. So we're on the same page.
I believe, sir. Yes, we ever. I say we stem the tide, sir. And now we head on down, fully strapped. I'm going to take the swords, bow slung over the back, and the head in the other hand. Mm-hmm. We head on down.
Bryok, this man has already seen my face, and I may have used some methods of persuasion on him that altered his perception. Once that is broken, there's potential that they are aware of it. Do you think that you are capable of doing this task on your own?
I certainly can try, sir.
As someone of a business acumen, and to be fair, as someone that is more of a people person.
Sir, I would not be in the trade of buying and selling if I could not sell.
I wouldn't mind a few hours more rest, is all I'm saying.
Very good, sir. Rest up. I'll be without a head and with a stack more coin very shortly.
He'll go to rest.
Okay.
Well, that's the perception anyway. If it's fair to you, that's absolutely not what he's going to do.
You would
roll a deception.
Yeah, roll a deception. Yeah, you have to roll a deception. You're so opposed. You do now everything you say. Roll a perception. Roll a deception. Roll a human perception. Roll charisma. Roll this.
So for Aurelius, that's a 17.
That's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to sleep. He's
No.
going to do something else.
He doesn't intend to sleep.
That's fine.
He's still lying to you.
He's not a threat to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely is a threat.
Yeah. But what he's doing now isn't a threat
But
to
what
you.
he's doing isn't a threat to me.
Yes.
That
is
I
true.
I don't know why he would.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he would go off. Like, he clearly still keeps secrets.
Yep. That's just mage stuff, though, right?
That's just mage stuff.
Mage bullshit.
Spent years with this man. Didn't know he was a werewolf until a couple of days ago, last night.
Yes, well, he spends about 1 in 4 nights kind of cloistered to himself. Maybe if you think back, you're like, oh, he does have the odd turn of solitariness. I just thought he was a lonely man.
That's for mage stuff.
Didn't like to be around people as much as he did.
That's
need
pretty
to.
much
Yeah.
it. He's
They
good.
consolidate their power. That
He's
makes
been
sense.
good at hiding it.
Yeah.
And while he's wearing the collar, you know, he never transforms.
Yeah.
Just uncomfortable.
Cool.
So yeah, that's you can maybe think back and be like, oh right, okay. But yeah, he's hidden it for a long time from
That's
you.
fine.
Yeah.
He's probably hiding more stuff.
Probably.
Doesn't matter as long as he generally agrees with my plan of action.
We're all hiding.
Get money, have sex, kill evil mage. In that order.
Hopefully I'm not the evil mage.
So even here in the trade quarter, you feel that the tensions are starting to mount just as people,
Yeah.
the way people move about, their furtiveness,
The way they buy.
the amount kind of hoarded onto carts and things, the whispered conversations, the dashed looks as you come past, the odd furrowed brow if they might notice you are an elf from below your cap. Just you can feel the tension mount day on day on day, as both the unrest in the other part of the city and the reality of a locked city, inescapable, draws in around people. It's just the vibe, the sense you get off people.
The knowing that soon winter's going to hit proper.
Yeah,
Food is going to become scarce. Water will become scarce.
these folks here maybe have some food ahead of them, but many of the peasants who took just what was on their backs, well, They'd be growing
Soon.
hungry.
Soon.
They'd be growing hungry. And
Things are going to turn.
they're hearing reports of people dying in the streets in the temple quarter. It's just, even in this early part of the siege, what's going on is starting to filter through to people, and you can sense it as you move through the streets.
Yeah.
But you find yourself outside the magistrate's hall and outside Bertrand's morgue as well, and
Cold breath.
cold breath misting in the air. Snow has stopped for now. A slush surrounds your feet.
Put the smile on the face. Big grin. Knock 3 times on the door.
Another traipsing up the stairs, and his gloved hands. Sorry, let me take those off. Ah! My unsteady friend.
My good friend, how are you?
I'm well. Coming out of the cold.
Thank you so much. You don't happen to have any tea, do you?
Oh, of course, yes. Let me. The fire's died down a little, but I'll build it up and set some water boiling.
I hope not to be too long. If that's not if you had some going already, but no. If you don't have any, no worries. I've just come to claim this bounty.
Oh.
Straight to the point. I best not waste your time. I can see you're a very busy man.
Well, I have already paid that bounty to your colleague.
Have you now?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yes, he came, and I did suspect he was trying to pull the wool over my eyes until he gave a very, very earnest speech about the death of your friend.
Yes, it was terrible.
But he
Terrible.
hadn't the proof. But I took him at his word, and I see you have the creature's head. But
I
as I
do.
said, I have already paid the bounty to him. I can't pay it twice.
No, of course not. No. I'd hope not for you to pay it twice. No. Just to pay it once in full.
Well, I have. The contract was for 500 crowns. I did explain to you that things were tight.
Of course.
I have the diagrams for the
Of
cat
course,
armor that
of
I offered
course.
you as well.
Yes, but as you know, and I hate to be the one to do this, the contract you made was with a witcher who's now dead. And, dear sir, I do not believe a witcher's life is worth 500 coin. Can you, sir, believe the work that has gone in to protect this fair city, if not for the loss of a witcher's life? Why, one has sacrificed itself. A witcher
I mean, he looks at
the cost
he looks
of
at the
the
savage
city.
creature's head, and as you're saying all this,
Why, alone the gold on this thing's head would pay handsomely.
you understand, it's not my purse I'm spending from.
No, of
I would
course
have to
not.
write to Duke Hadron to see if he is willing to part with more coin. This is wartime, as you know.
Of course, and what a morale boost for the city this would be. A monster slain, proving the safety of this city by the Duke himself. And this gold could go towards the war treasury. Why, wouldn't this be such a morale boost for everyone here? Why, not only are the people here well fed and kept, they are safe from monsters from within.
Persuasion. It's good. It's good. It's very good.
25.
Oh,
Excellent. Yeah.
fantastic.
Excellent. Good. You're a social character. It's your wheelhouse. We like that. Yes. Okay. You're laying it on a little thick there, Master Bryok.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Your point is well made.
And I hope well intended, sir.
Yes,
This is not to fleece you.
The head of a dead beast, Duke Hadron will get some leverage over Dunnis's reactionary response.
Why? And if Duke Hadron has a mage under their employee, perhaps the alchemical properties within this monster's head would sell or be useful in the war effort against the Black Ones, the Nilfgaardians.
I shall send a message to him. Understand? I shall attempt to secure you several more 100 crowns, perhaps.
As
Would
what
that satisfy
you feel best. Perhaps,
Well, perhaps the purse will.
400 crowns, if that is
I shall write to
pleasing.
him. I shall write to him and say not only has the beast been slain, that I now have proof, and that perhaps owing to the revealed nature of the threat, those that were responsible will, perhaps they are owed a little bit more from the crown.
And we can reassure them, sir, that there will be no other sorts of monsters like this in the area. Why, sir, the Witcher themselves said that there was only one.
I understand, and I'm indeed sorry for your loss.
Do not... That was a deception, by the by.
Was that before or after she was horribly killed?
Why, before, sir? Once we had identified the beast.
And how could she be clear that it was only one?
Why, sir? Because she slew it.
Yes, but how is she able to say that there is no other beasts anywhere in the city, anywhere else in the city?
Of these sorts, sir. Of these sorts. And this one is quite ferocious, as it took out members of the guard.
I'm not inclined to take that at face value, I'll have to say. I will keep my guard. I will advise Duke Hadron to keep his guard wary of such things. In my experience, where one beast is, others often follow.
Perhaps more mundane ones, sir, like drowners and such, and the like. I do
possibly,
not know much
possibly.
of this.
I have your friend's body below. Do you wish to claim it?
Sir, you are an expert in your trade. The Witcher was an expert in theirs. It is best that she rest with you.
Well, I can finish my report now, conclusively say exactly what slew her, and conclude that the beast itself has been taken care of. There's precious little we can do in terms of burial, but I can recommend that a pyre with full honorifics be used to grant her peace in a journey to the next life.
She was very pragmatic, sir. I don't think she would wish to rest on ceremony too much.
Well,
but
still, the city owes her a debt, and perhaps the families of the murdered guardsmen will take peace in it as well.
I hope so, sir. I do hope.
Now, I need to send for a boy from next door to run to the Duke. If you don't mind, I'll take possession of the...
I have many other things and commitments to do, a store to sell from and food to part with, hungry mouths to feed.
Yes, well, if the Duke can spare more coin, then perhaps by tomorrow he will make that available to you.
I wait your message with bated breath, sir.
Excellent. You're not hurt, are you?
No, sir, not at all.
I'm sorry for your loss again.
Thank you kindly, sir.
Farewell.
Farewell. Bryok will leave.
And
shut the door.
Yes.
And trudge through the snow. Plow the fucking Witcher.
Okay, what's that sentiment about?
Who cares?
So you're just like, do what you want with what's left of it. Okay,
They're not elf.
It's your true colours coming
just
through.
Revealing my cards a little bit more for the audience.
Yes, love it. What do you get up to, Aurelius?
Aurelius, in the moment before they're about to leave, he has like a flash of inspiration, a flash of what he must do, an obligation. He is a mage, he is powerful, and he is this close to finishing what he started, and he cannot waste time on things that do not matter. So he talks to Bryok and sends Bryok on his way, and he waits for a minute to pass. He just stands there, solitary, in his room, and then he makes a decision. And he goes out to find... What's the name of the man who we... Verd?
Verd the Cooper is who we are boarding with.
Yes. Verd, or if one of his or one of his employees are running the shop.
Is one of his apprentices, head apprentice,
And he comes up to whoever's in the front or working.
Pan's there, working away. He's hammering hoops down.
Pan, is it?
That's me.
Pan, do you have a large bowl of sorts, a container, a steel, a large basin?
Yeah, need be waterproof.
I intend to have water in it, so that would be great if it could stay within the bowl.
I got some carved wood bowl somewhere back here.
The largest one you can get me.
Oh yeah, we keep tallow in this one usually, but precious little of that at the moment. There you go.
Yep, and it's how roughly is it? Fair, like a large, like You could carefully wash your face with it.
Yeah, it's like a wash basin, maybe 2 hand breadths across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he with a nod of the head, he takes it and he beelines straight back towards his room. Clears.
Oh yes, you'll not be taking that off the premises, would you?
Just to my premises.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
He says over his shoulder as he continues. Aurelius Tarnair, the mage, beelines back towards his room, clears a space of room in the center, just kind of pushes some of the belongings and sort of like the chair that's there, just makes a big room in the center, plonks the bowl in, draws the curtain shut, goes over he probably has it on his person now, unclips the belt with the purse that he has and places it down, opens it up, unclasps it, and starts to pull out specific bags and plonks them in. And he gets a body of water, so he pours water into the bowl.
Yeah, so you take one of your water skins, pop the top off, fill the bowl,
Unravels one of the containers, gets out 2 bottles of 5th essence, pours them in, gets out
quintessence.
a burbicane fruit, cuts that, plonks it in.
Squeezes it, lets the juice flow into the water. It spreads like ink into the water.
Third brown container, unravels it, pulls a string, opens it up, and gingerly cusps hands and grabs 2 pearls and places the pearls within the bowl.
They sink into the now murky water like eyes disappearing into the dark.
And he goes over and pulls out 1 more and unravels it. And it's the petals of a white myrtle bush. And he scatters a few of those in the bowls and watches them just kind of float on the surface.
They float for a second, and then they begin to eerily move to spread across the surface, equidistant from one another, as if carefully arranged by an unseen hand.
And while staring at the bowl, he then pulls out 1 final drawstring bag, unravels it, and pulls out a few lunar shards. Watching the shards, he tips his hand and they fall off the palm and just sprinkle.
They're such tiny slivers, but they catch whatever little light there is in this dim space as they tumble into the water.
And he stares over this bowl, stands in front of it, and he goes over to his coat that's just laying draped among a piece of furniture, flips it open, and pulls out the single crimson rose with the white petal that is of Rasine's. And he places that last and lets it float up top. And he gets on his knees in front of the bowl, staring into the body of water, and just says, "Rasine, now." And he's going to cast a ritual known as hydromancy.
Ritual of hydromancy, yes.
And the idea is that he wants to see exactly where this mage is right now and what she's doing.
Yes, and you may gather that the reason that he's held off on this is the components used up in this are extremely valuable. So you must wait until the right moment to do such a thing.
He hasn't known where she is. Like, he could have done this at any time. But if he doesn't know where she is, or if he's not close by, he can't react off that.
Yes.
He knows how close he is, and he knows that tonight is the time to act on it. It's the 11th hour.
Okay, so you want to give me your ritual casting.
I do.
And you want to beat the DC.
I do.
Do you have luck?
I have 1, so I will use it.
Okay. Yay!
Oh my god.
As a storyteller, I'm like, oh, please let him do it.
See, here's the problem.
This is good.
The problem with how hydromancy works in the Witcher TTRPG is that you have 2 options. Either you can look at something that's happening right now, or you can look at something that's happening within the past 2 days, and you can be specific. It's easier to do something that has already happened, and the DC for that is 15. DC turns to 18 if you want to use something right now.
Right now, yeah.
So I had a base of 12 with my luck, and I rolled a 9.
Ooh, Sean.
So I did it.
You did it.
I did it. And he looks in the bowl, eyes hyper-focused, letting himself kind of lean forward over, just allowing everything to fade to the edges of his vision. And just like a one-track mind, just like one who has done for the last 30 years, he looks forward towards Rasine.
And as you concentrate, the rage you feel almost bleeds into your concentration. The blank openness that you need to receive the water's message to you. But your discipline, your internal need lets you push and compartmentalize that rage so that the petals shiver, disappear below the surface. And an image of Rasine appears at a long table with flasks and alembics. She's working at something. And the room she's in, dank, below ground somewhere. The carvings, perhaps. A crypt. Somewhere below the city. It's hazy, but you think you perhaps see a stone creature at rest nearby her.
And this is probably enough time for Rasine to get an opportunity to feel this.
Okay,
happening.
cool. What does she need?
Because if I'm
this is great. I was going to ask if this was possible.
If I'm staring into someone that can utilize goddamn chaos, they get a chance.
Yep.
So basically, you are the DC for your magic training roll has to
pretty strong mage. She's got 10.
Has to beat the DC that I just rolled, which is 21.
Okay, so that's pretty strong.
Yep. And if you beat a 21, she is aware that someone is watching.
She doesn't have 10. She's at 8 magic training. My apologies. And high will as well. What did you roll?
21.
She got 23.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, so she was about a 50-50 pretty much. But yeah, she got there.
And just the last thing for that is, it says here, I was curious as to how this worked out. It says here the duration is active, brackets 2 stamina.
Yeah, so it consumes 2 stamina for every round that you have it.
Great, cool.
So, it takes you 10 minutes to get it going, and then you can keep it going for a minute or two, enough to kind of move around the room a little bit.
Yeah.
And you see her working away at her alembics and her concoctions. You don't have any alchemy, do you?
That's a wonderful question. No. I
So
can't even base roll it, can I?
So you have no.
Great.
Without any actual alchemy training, I've no way of telling her what she's doing.
The idea of kind of alchemy and making potions is something he never even bothered to retain information for at the Imperial Academy. That was of no consequence to him.
Might have been handy if she quite likes dabbling. So
he didn't know that.
Yeah. So and as she's working away, you see her back straighten, and she looks over her shoulder, directly through the water, and back to you.
And Aurelius stares right back, leans in closer,
and you see her immaculate red gown draped over her as she turns, looks you dead in the eyes, and smiles. And there's no sound, but you see her raise a hand and go, cock her finger in a come hither.
And Aurelius smiles and nods and puts his hand through the water.
And the vision is gone. Roll to Cast The Blood-Soaked Rose is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. All our podcasts are on Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/babybeard. The Witcher tabletop role-playing game is property of our Talsorian Games. Used with permission. Just spent the odd about 1 in 4.
Sorry. I think
Sorry.
Thanks, Ellen.